with 1 minute to start the start. We've got everybody in the blocks at the start line. Here we go. They are off. And as you can see, not skipping a beat. I'm sure it feels good to get those first few strokes out of the way and down the race course. As everyone knows, the K4 500 is a super intense event. There's no room for waiting. It's go from the very first stroke, and that we've got an eight person race, 2-boat race, and makes it even more intense. A little different than maybe expected. Some in pogies, we got water vests on. Certainly not uncommon racing in March and April, but not necessarily what we're all used to seeing. Everybody keeping ready and warm, ready to hit it right from that start. All right, we've got lane 3 starting to pull ahead. They've got a 4-person lead as we cut through down to that last half of the event. And lane 3 takes that race. And after a well-fought battle and a huge amount of effort put out on the water, legs burning, lungs burning, arms burning, I'm sure there's a great sense of appreciation for getting back on the water and putting it all out there on the line as lane 3 wins the event. And we'll wrap that up for this weekend.
Change filters if you want. The only problem is when I'm going from one place to the next. Is that too dark over? Is this too dark over here and then too bright over here? Because right now I have it on auto.
Did you see me now? Yeah. test.
I can hear
Kia,
you.
there we
Morning.
are. Sorry about that, everyone. I was a little delayed getting online. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Nice to see you, Kia, of course. Uh,
Well, thanks. Nice to see you too.
yeah,
You guys have a lovely morning in Burnaby. It's awesome. Not
yeah.
too
It's
often we see
honestly,
glass.
yeah, it's a beautiful morning here, and sort of usual pre-regatta excitement as we've got set up this morning. But it was a beautiful, calm, glassy morning there. A lot
With
of
a
people are probably
fantastic
wondering about.
backdrop.
Yeah, sorry, Kia. A lot of people are probably wondering there was a technical issue with the third crew, the U23 crew's boat after they went on the water. So unfortunately, we're dealing with that to try to fix that issue before the second final. So disappointing for them, but certainly a big morning for our women's kayak program to have that first of two finals for Olympic selection this morning.
I have to tell you, when I saw them lining up, I got all the pre-race butterflies, and my body felt like it remembered what it's supposed to be like. It's such an exciting time to kick off the season and have all of those dreams and anticipations ahead of you. So I can only imagine what it feels like there in Burnaby this morning.
Yeah, and I certainly, Kia, it's been such a trying year and a half since the last time we had a competition. So I'm just so proud of all the athletes here and also all the athletes watching and all the clubs across the country. This is a big moment, and I know everyone's been working very hard through this time. But it's a pretty special moment to have our first race at a national level here and on this beautiful lake in Burnaby. So we're happy. It's like you said, it's trials in March. It's new for us, but it's a special moment. But I'm just watching the two crews come in. This is it's a happy moment. It's certainly an intense moment for these two crews as they've been training in Shawnigan Lake. All three of these crews have been training in Shawnigan Lake on Vancouver Island. New location, but a great training location in our bubble training environment. So that's an important first win for the crew in lane 3, and we're just waiting for the official results to come through so we can share those. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
certainly looked like a big win, and just so we all know, the overall format for these trials is best 2 out of 3 wins for the events that are contested. So there'll be, on day 1 today, there'll be a series of some heats and some finals, some semis and finals, and then further finals for those same events tomorrow. So heats final 1 and final 2. And then in the events that there's 2 different winners, there'll be race-offs tomorrow afternoon to decide those winners. So just for some clarity there, so we've had that first win, and our next race is going to be the C2 1000 meters up from the top of Burnaby Lake here.
That's awesome. And there's the results.
Looks
They're
like
up here, so
looks like we're still having a technical issue with the actual result coming in, but we'll wait on that. We're just getting, as usual with the live stream, a few kinks worked out this morning, but we're certainly very happy that we got that just on time to get the race for all the fans and parents and supporters who wanted to see that race. So I am here at the venue, so I get an advantage to I can maybe provide a update for everyone. I know lots of people wanted to be here. It's about 8 to 10 degrees now. It was frosty, Kia, this morning when we got here, but the sun is up. You probably saw on the stream, it's very calm, super calm. And great conditions, to be honest, for the live stream. So I'm just watching the crews cooling down from this morning. I know the winning crew is out there cooling down, and second place crew as well are going to be talking about some strategy. I know, Kia, and you were a fierce competitor as well, that there's another final, and they're going to be coming back and thinking about the best way that they can up their performance as they go into the next final.
yeah, you have to think that that first race in almost a year and a half, there's going to be some rust and a bit of extra jitters perhaps that got in the way. And so hopefully after getting that one out of the way, everybody can analyze a little. There's probably a few things that they can improve on or think about or want to try out for the next go. You certainly,
Yeah.
when it's a best 2 out of 3, we've both been in those situations where you're gunning for the next one.
Yeah, and I think you probably remember from your career, Kia, how after 6 or 7 months, 8 months from your last race at nationals, you feel a little rusty and you want to hear, 5 minutes to start, 3 minutes to start for the first time. And I think for both crews they'll be geared up again for the next final, and for all the athletes just to be out here racing. I certainly, people are laughing. I've had a smile on my face since the second I got to the race course to just be back, and I know those watching are the same. So we're going to keep working on those results, I think, Kia, and we're going to take a little pause, and we're going to be back in about 20 minutes as we gear up for the big C2 race, which is going to be our next 1,000-meter final. So thanks, Kia, for joining, and thanks, everyone. We'll be back.
See you soon.
Yeah. Gi- Well, maybe a little earlier. Yeah, well, it'd be good if we have a little intro time to like, because we can say what's happening. Yeah. Okay, do you want to test it?
Is this where I go? Over this? Is this where I go? Over this? No, I think. Yeah. I think you might want to be out there. Yeah. Too. I think you might want to be out there. Okay. I have no. Sure. Okay. That big one there. Are they moving? How far are they going to move it out? How far are they going to move it out? So I do go. Okay. So I do go. I guess so. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I thought they were just going to leave it up there. I thought they were just going to leave it up there. Hang on. Sure. I got it.
The song our paddles sing in the stillness tells the story of a country. It's a song born here that echoes through history. A note to distance, the unknown. We sweat, burn, push, and fight, not for money, glory, or accolades, because it reminds us of who we are. Screw loose daredevils and romantic obsessives, most ourselves in the rage and the whip and the whirl, or the reflective silence before the gun goes, and we know we're home.
Well, you gave me chills. Started off that way.
Yeah. Beautiful. I had to fix my hair, Kia. Yeah.
Oh no, it's a COVID problem.
So thanks,
really.
Thanks, Kia, and thanks everyone for hopping on our live stream today from the Burnaby Olympic Paralympic trials here in beautiful British Columbia. Thank you for joining my co-host. I didn't get to introduce you last time, Kia. So this is Kia Scholar, former national team athlete and great women's kayak athlete, and was a teammate of mine. So it's nice to connect with you, Kia, today from Regina, correct?
I am here in Regina. Thanks for the intro. I don't know if I would have put great in front of my name, but thank you for the compliment and the intro. It's really nice to come back to Canoe Kayak Canada and be involved in this capacity, especially with somebody that I got to race with. And it's funny, as we took our little break, I got a few messages from those who are chiming in and logging in to see the races today, and it's always neat to connect back with the paddling family.
And who was our co-host before with you?
Well, I was all by myself.
The new baby we had before.
Oh, our third member here, Thor, is now sleeping, and let's hope he stays that way, or everyone else might get an earful that they don't want. Yeah, Thor joined the world November 29th, so he's little.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I tried to dress him appropriately. You know, he had red and white blanket, so.
So our next race, Kia, is men's C2 1,000 meter, which is going to be very exciting. We've here at the venue, we just have some venue breaks to clear the starting platform from the 500 meter, but we've got the draw up on the screen here. So 4 crews, as you know, Kia, men's C2 1,000 is a very competitive event internationally, and there's been a lot of great crews that have raced for Canada in the past. And we have 4 strong crews here. So in lane 2, we have Andrew Billard and Alex Planteux. They're U23 crew. Lane 3, Connor Fitzpatrick and Roland Varga. Last time Canada raced internationally at the senior level, they raced at the 2019 Worlds in Szeged, coming second in the B final and with a great time at that event. So we'll see what they can do. Beside them, another senior crew, Drew Hodges and Craig Spence, a long-standing excellent crew as well, and Brett Himmelman and Mark James in lane 5. So I think we can expect a very strong race. All these athletes have been training in Shawnigan Lake on Vancouver Island, and coached by John Pike, our new men's canoe coach. They've been working hard. So when you see a 1,000-meter race, Kia, what are you looking for this morning?
Well, I think I bring it's always interesting to me when I think about the 1,000-meter event, because there's a lot of different strategies that can be employed, and depending on the crew and your strengths as an athlete, you see very different attacks of the 1,000. And so for me, it'll be interesting to see who takes the get out fast approach and hold on. And then there's other crews certainly that have a bit different strategy, and we'll see different things happening at different parts in that race course. So what you see at the 150 and what we might see at the 500, and who tries to make a move will certainly be something to watch for. And as you say, they've been training together for the last few months, and so it's not like there's a bunch of surprises. It's you sort of know what your counterparts are doing as well, and so it'll be interesting to see how the race unfolds that way. And for you, as someone who raced this event nationally and internationally, what
here,
especially when you can see yourself on the screen, you know what happens then? You get all got to fix your bangs and maneuver your glasses.
So I mean, the big thing I'm looking for, like you said, trials races are always a little bit different than a World Cup or racing at a World Championship, in the sense that there's 4 boats out there, and with 4 boats out there, they're going to be racing each other very hard. And I'm looking for that moment, those decisive moments when someone makes a move, picks up the rate, their race plan comes into play, and when we can really see people go for the lead, or they, like you said, Kia, they're going to go out hard. Watch the stroke rate. We're not going to have the best footage of the start, but we'll be able to see for sure the stroke rates and who's setting what pace, and go from there. And the level in this event is very high. Like I said, we had Roland and Connor did a 3:28, which was the fastest time ever for a Canadian crew in a super competitive event. They ended up, like I said, second in the B final, but were very competitive in the semi with China, who ended up breaking the world record in that semifinal, going on to win. So we know that the crews, whoever wins this race, is going to be a competitive crew. So I'm really excited and looking about that. I talked to John Pike and their coach, men's canoe coach, and they've been doing great training in Shawnigan Lake. And like you said, Kia, I had Thomas Budai Jr., who's a past world medalist in this event, messaging me. And I know Tommy. Hi, Tommy. I know you're watching. And lots of those men's canoe alumni are always excited to see who's going to pick up the torch with in this event. So very exciting. And all 4 of these crews are super strong. And like with all these events, Kia, I know we're just so proud of all the efforts they've put in to get to this start line through COVID and a tough 2020. And so, props to them and all their supporters and family watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny when you talk about, those who message us. I was having, Casey Fraser and Victoria Tuttle sending messages as the K4 event comes down. So we each kind of tune in for the thing that really pulls on our heartstrings a little bit. And perhaps we can look at it pretty fondly, but the thing that I think I would be most grateful for is the chance to continue to put in that effort. So these athletes, showing their resilience through all the uncertainty, but being able to maintain the ability to train. So props to Canoe Kayak Canada for creating this bubble environment, and for everybody being able to, make those difficult decisions and be away from their families, but being able to get into that bubble and do what needs to be done as we move towards Tokyo 2020 and what's coming in 2021.
Yeah. So we're just they're just lining up here. I can hear the radios. I'm not too far from the officials table, so we're hearing just about 2 minutes to start here for a 1,000-meter race. Now 1 minute to start. It's a big moment for these athletes, Kia. After this break, and I'm getting the butterflies a little bit thinking about being on the start line. It's just happy to be out here and giving it our all. So
yeah, it's always a pretty special moment, right? When you're 1 minute to start, you have everything ahead of you. All the potential, all the opportunity. So it's always one of the greatest moments to be in, I think.
So just for everyone for refresh before the race starts, in lane 2, it's Andrew Billard and Alex Plumteux. Lane 3, Connor Fitzpatrick and Roland Varga. Lane 4, Drew Hodges and Craig Spence. And in lane 5, it'll be Brett Himmelman and Mark James. So here we have footage up from the start. It's that's Brett and Mark James in the pink. Looking great, well coordinated.
I was going to say, it's always good to see.
Yeah, beside them you see Craig Spence in the front in the red of the next boat over in lane 4, and Drew Hodges in the back. We'll see pulling up here Connor Fitzpatrick and Roland Varga. Roland in the front, Connor in the back with the backwards hat. And then we'll just see maybe coming up the young U23 crew great young athletes, Andrew Billard, there they are, and Alex Planteux. Andrew from Masqua and Alex Planteux from Lac-Beauport.
And they're off.
We got a good start. Yep. So
Yeah,
right
it's
away,
good to see the long.
we're looking at the stroke rate here, IKEA, and looking at who's setting what pace on that beautiful smooth water.
Yeah, and they look pretty even off the start, which always sets up for an extra intense 1,000-meter event.
Yeah. So it looks like a strong rate from both those crews in the middle. That's Craig. Looks like Craig Spence and Drew. Second from the left, maybe a touch ahead off the line. Beside them, Connor and Roland. Looks like matching the pace. Great to see these conditions.
Yeah. Isn't it
Go,
though? Yeah, it's always nice to have fair good conditions that lead to, the best case scenario and best case times for all these athletes. Coming from Saskatchewan when it was windy, which is common because, as you know, there's not much to block the wind. We always used to joke that, you got to go out in the worst days because that's what'll be there on race day. But when you come to the course and see these sorts of conditions, you're feeling really lucky.
So it looks like we're going to get an indication here of the placings, Kia, as we come by. Here, the 500 meters. So just ahead, looks like Craig is Spence and Drew just ahead. Setting a great pace. Look at that beautiful view. It looks like Roland just up in the rate a little bit there. Roland and Connor in lane 3. On the inside, Andrew Billard, Alex Planteux. Okay, here we're going to see, I think, the heat of this race crank up. So we see a little pickup, I think, there, Kia, from Roland and Drew.
Yeah, there's a bit of a push.
Craig.
It's always interesting for someone who comes from a 500-meter and 200-meter background to see, the up at the 500 and understand just the lungs are burning, the legs are burning, everything's going, and to see the rate pick up and a push is always amazing.
Oh, it looks like we got a great race here. Just what we expected from all these athletes. Big effort here from Roland and Connor, looks like, and a big push. You can see Drew pushing with Craig.
Yeah, they're really driving to the finish line, putting it all out there. As you say, best 2 out of 3, right? So getting that first win is a huge boost. And everybody wants it. And we've got a good finish coming to the end here. They're in that last stretch.
About the last 50 here, looks like. Just coming across the line. That's about a boat length win. Congrats and good race to Connor and Roland, as well as Drew and Craig in second. Andrew and Alex, and then Brett and Mark. Great effort by all the crews out there. I can tell you.
And good camaraderie.
Yeah.
As you see them chatting with each other.
The first that first effort of the season, that first hard 1,000 is tough. So very proud of all these athletes out here. But a good win for Roland and Connor, and I'm sure all the other crews are already going to take a breath and reset for the next final.
And up next, we'll move into heats for the men's K1000 meter events.
Just working on my end here to look at the results to pop up. That's Craig and Drew coming in. And here's our scenery shot. It's just unbelievably beautiful here, Kia. I know a lot of people are probably wishing they were here, and we're certainly appreciating the support. I'm going to just pause for a moment here and see if we can line up an interview. Just 1 second.
Yeah, people say that I'll just, reminisce about, going away to Florida and the warm weather camps and training that places that we've all gone. But it's hard to imagine a scenery or a backdrop like this in Canada. We're pretty lucky to have this space and be able to get there and have open, beautiful water and such fantastic views to propel everyone on.
Yeah. I'm just going to do it.
Awesome. I think we have an interview coming up. I think Ian Mortimer was successful. Watch my slip ups there, and we'll head to the interview.
Well, we're just trying to corral some people here, so we may just wait a little bit for that, Kia. Sorry about that.
No, all good. Yeah, it's
all good. We're just figuring it out. We have so everyone knows we're working on a setup for a COVID-friendly distance interview station, but we just have to coordinate that, and obviously I just ran down to try it out, and the C2 crews really need to get out for their cool down right away because they're burning with lactic acid after that. Like our old coach Daddy-O, Thomas Budai, called it a lung burner, I'm sure. So they're heading right back out. So maybe we'll try to grab them for an interview afterwards.
Awesome. And on that note, we've got the next race starting in 2 minutes. So men's K1000 is up at that top. And I don't actually have the full race card, but maybe you can let us know how many heats we've got.
Yeah, I'm just going to load it up here.
We've got two heats of men's K1000.
Here we go.
Coming up.
And right on cue. Thanks to our crew in the control center. We got lane 2, Mitchell Barron from Burl Oak. Lane 3, Simon McTavish from Mississauga. Lane 4, Laurent Levin, de Trois-Rivières, and in lane 5, Jacob Steele. So a lot of you probably noticed Kia, and a lot of our fans and supporters probably noticed that we're running some small races in terms of numbers of boats, and that's because we're using a modified 6-lane format here at Burnaby. We're using a rowing course, and so the rowing lanes are, as you know, Kia, they're 6 lanes. They're a little bit wider. Leisure lanes, a little more room,
yeah,
but we're running modified progressions and 6 boat races. So we're progressing towards 6 boat finals where we have heats.
And they're off from what I can see behind us. There's a clean start, which is always fantastic to see.
So that's Mitchell in the yellow boat on the inside. and beside him, Simon McTavish. Lane 4, Laurent Levin, and lane 5, Jacob Steele. So a great heat. Keep your eye on Simon McTavish is from Mississauga, is raced previously for Australia, is a dual citizen, is now races for Canada. We're super proud and to have him on our team. And Simon was a silver medalist at the U23 World Championships in 2018 when he was racing for Australia. So a high level, and just like all these athletes, we're looking for his, how all these athletes are going to perform after such a long interval. Beside him, Laurent Levin, junior world medalist, silver medal in 2019 in junior worlds in 500 K1. So this is a strong heat and a strong chance for all these athletes as well, Mitchell and Jacob, to get into the groove of things. I think tough with the angle.
Yeah.
I think Kia will get better as we watch, but you can take your call there, Kia, what we're looking at.
I don't know if I want to put anything out into the interwebs on who's where at this point, but something always to see, right, is the way they come out of the gate, and certainly someone lane 3 is taking what looks like a bit of a lead here. Oh, it looks
So
like
it's a little different.
we've got a move.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, a little bit of a pickup there. I mean, it's a bit of a change of pace from, the intensity is pretty high for those finals off the bat this morning. But to now we got heats, so just a little bit more get a good pace in, get a good warm up in, and feel out how you're doing. And for Mitchell Barron, Jacob Steele, younger athletes, developing athletes, a great chance for them to get out there and get working.
Yeah, you bet. This reminds me, it's funny, as you talk about such a strong field, as you move into trials at this level, right? It doesn't matter what heat you get or what semi or what happens. Everyone beside you is competitive, and it's a tough event and a tough race.
For sure.
So it definitely looks like we still have the front two kind of feeling back and forth, pushing out ahead, and somebody making a move to try to catch up or challenge the next person as we come to the next point here. Looks like Simon in lane 3 is starting to show a bit of a lead.
Yeah, here it comes now. Nice win for Simon. Nice race as well for Laurent, Mitchell, Jacob.
That's always such a balance of emotions at the end, or feelings, right? The burn, the exhaustion, and then sort of reset in your mind to figure out where we're going next. So these individuals will do their cool downs and kind of wait to see what happens in heat 2.
Looks like they're comfortable. Looks like they had a good race.
We should be close to 5 minutes to start for heat number 2 of men's K1000. Again, this will be a 4-person heat.
Just looking out the window here, I see Simon doing another lap. They're all doing. I think they're all the guys are burning a little bit after that effort, which is good to see. And Mitchell here just coming in, pride of Burlow Canoe Club, and everyone's just, I think, glad to get that race under their belt and get ready. I think that's going to be a great final, and of course, Kia, that's the K1000 is a pretty prestigious event for Canada, and our friend Adam Van Couverden for a long time holding that entry, and of course world champion in that event. And so I think a lot of people are excited, just like the other events, to see who's gonna take that out and for our two finals here.
Yeah, you betcha. And as much as we train and simulate those time controls and race offs and those sorts of things amongst each other, there is no replicating race day. And so I think the burn is greater, and always good to get that first one out of the way.
Choil, I think the results are up now for the C2, if we can take a look at those. We'll try to get a hold of those. But yeah, our next race is the C2, is the next heat of men's K2.
So
here's the results.
Yeah,
there we go. Go ahead.
No, we're good. You highlight those results. Glad to see them. Glad to have some times.
Yeah, we got, I mean, it's a good win for Connor. It says Richmond Hill. Connor's from Sonobe Aquatic Club and Roland Varga. That a 3:36 is a good time. We're not on warm water here, and we're still figuring. It's going to be tough to judge times over this weekend, as you know. Colder slows athletes down, and it's a new course. We haven't done a lot of racing here, but I think they'll be happy with that. And Craig and Andrew and Alex and the rest of the Mark and Brett are going to be going back and looking at what kind of changes they can make to their race plan. But a good start for the weekend for the men's canoe team for sure.
Yeah, it's probably a relief to get a clock time in, just to even have a spot to start from as we move forward.
Yeah.
So we should be about 3 minutes to start for the Heat 2 of the men's K1 1,000 meter event. We'll have lane 2, Eric Ellery from Balmy Beach. We've got lane 3, Brian Malfisi from Ridge. Lane 4, we've got Vincent Jordanet from Trois-Rivières. And Alex Canning will be in lane 5 with Bannock.
So here's the lineup.
And do you think these guys are as it was always interesting when you're the second heat, you kind of watch the first race go and decide what what you're going to do when you follow them down the course. So as they get up here to the 1,000 meter start line.
Totally. Watching the other boats go down the course, looking at their stroke rate, seeing what's happening, and I think these guys will be pumped to follow down the lane and try to set their own mark. Some great athletes in this event. Brian Malfasi from Ridge, a local athlete, and pretty special moment, I think, for Brian and all of us, all of CKBC and the whole community here to be hosting these trials. I know interesting circumstance, Kia, to be here because of COVID, but it's amazing just for us to be here racing this major event for Canoe Kayak Canada in BC. And Brian is very proud to be from British Columbia, and I think he's pretty pumped to be here on this water that he's raced on many times growing up as a young athlete. So I'm sure he'll be racing with pride through the weekend here.
Yeah, sometimes it's interesting when your home province isn't the one that hosts the majority of events. There's an extra level of excitement and an extra level of motivation that comes with that as well. And looks like we have another clean start, which is awesome to see.
Yeah.
I remember the first time nationals came to Regina. I think some of us from Wascana felt like we were floating 6 inches above the ground. So I think that certainly helps when you're when you're on your home body of water and somewhere that you really have some ties to in that regard.
I think so. We got in inside in lane 2. Eric Ellery, and I have to give a shout out to Eric's mom, Mary Bruce. I know Mary's in Thailand where she teaches, and if anyone's on the live stream, I know Mary is. So hi to Mary, and I know you're cheering from all halfway around the world.
That's a really cool thing about the way we've moved in terms of being able to share out events and be able to sign in. It doesn't matter where we are in the world, we're able to catch the races and participate and cheer on all the ones we love and root for. So thanks to everybody who signed on and is checking us out this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, depending where you are.
So it looks like Vincent Jourdain in the black boat with yellow on top there, coming through. Just a bit ahead. Looks like he wants to get this heat, wants to claim it and get the good placing.
Yeah, it's always interesting too. There's some strategy in terms of, race strategy, but sometimes each individual has their own strategy for where they want and what lane they want in the final, right? So some people want to be outside and some people want to be in the middle. And you sometimes get to see where people's desires are just based on how they go out in that heat.
Yeah, and so just first to final here, Kia, so that's important. And I think that's what we're seeing is, those that want to, if Simon from the last heat in here, Vincent Jourdain, want to go through first to the final, second and third from each heat go to the semi, and then it'll be the next 2 fastest times between the two heats that go into a semi-final. So that's a bit of the strategy of canoe kayak sprint. Who's gonna go through direct, get a little bit of a rest. And Vincent looks like that was what he wanted, and he looks like he's going to get it.
He's going after it, most certainly.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's interesting, Kia. The rowing lanes are quite the spread, so it's visually we have to get used to a little bit more distance between the boats. There's Alex Canning from Bannock, looking strong. I know he's had a great training camp with the whole team on Shawnigan Lake. But Vincent looks like he's comfortably ahead here to go through in the heat.
Pushing right through to that finish line as well, which is nice to see. Good, congratulations to Vincent. And the awesome team you have in the background is telling us there's over 400 of you out there listening to Ian and I chime in and make commentary while you're here for what you really came for, the awesome set of races that the athletes are putting out for us.
Good to see some handshakes here. This great group of athletes. It's been a road, Kia, for all of us to get here, as I said, and as always in canoe kayak, there's a lot of camaraderie and hard work, but pushing together as a team. So these athletes from our 1,000-meter group who've been working with Jan Crook and training elsewhere are all, I think, pretty pumped to be out here, and great for Vincent. He'll be happy and take some time to gear back up.
So those athletes will cool down, and their semifinals will happen this afternoon. After there'll be the third event up after lunch.
Yeah. So it's an interesting rhythm here, Kia. It's not the usual, you know, for those watching. You know, it's not like a national championship where there's lots of heats coming down. It's a little bit slower pace, but so we've had those heats, and then coming up, we're going to have a bit of a break before our next race at 10:50. We're going to have the women's kayak heats and get into that. So I think we're going to take a little break. We're going to do some work on our end to see if we can set up our interview station and gear up. So we'll be back around 10:40, Kia and I, to gear up for our next set of races. Thanks everyone for joining. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
saying I gave a shout out to Mary Bruce, so good, but I think you should stay on top of it. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. The catch-22, they raise the water level, but it brings like the nightmare activity.
Hey Troy, it's Ian. I am
All right, we're back here. This is Ian Mortimer from Paralympic Team Trials here in beautiful Burnaby. You got an incredible shot of the view here. Kia, are you there?
I am. Thor and I are back.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kia, for joining. Kia, one of the alumni in my old team from the women's kayak team and the sprint team, and we're just looking at this amazing view, Kia, here on screen of the mountains here. I'm getting lots of messages and comments from people wishing they were here, and we're doing our best to bring the excitement here and this very important race for these athletes to everyone across the country, and including this great view. Incredible. So next up, Kia, we have so for 200, so a bunch of 200-meter heats coming up. So we actually here for the 500 and 200 are using a start dock, and that start dock we actually have to work with the crew here to move down the course between the different distances. So that's why part of the reason why, along with giving the athletes a break, we have these long breaks, is we are pushing and pulling that starting dock, which we'll see in a minute, to the line.
There's probably
So
some
we're just,
people watching and having some flashbacks to when they were the ones doing this prior to us being lucky enough to have starting gates at most of our events.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the start list here for the first heat, women's K1 200 meters. Lane 1, Marin Bradley from Rito. Lane 2, Natalie Davison. Lane 3, Andréane Langlois. De Trois-Rivières, Michelle from Chima, and Adriana Lilio Sunday from Micmac. So a lot of great sprinters here. Andréane's a 2016 Olympian, raced K1 200 meters there, made it to the final. Cecil, a great teammate of yours, Kia, and later part of your amazing athlete. And there's Thor.
Yeah.
So what Kia, you were a great sprinter. You raced K1 for Canada at the World Championships in 200 meters. What are we watching for here?
Well, unlike those thousands that we got to see just before the break, we certainly want to see a fast start. You'll see really, really high stroke rates, I think, but we don't want to see them too high. The spin is always a risk with the 200s, I think, and obviously everyone's been training really hard over the last couple months to really dial in and understand what that stroke rate efficiency is for them, and certainly different depending on each athlete. I think I was a bit of an anomaly in that I didn't typically have a super high stroke rate. So depending who you are, we could see certainly a variety there.
And we have some great sprinters here for sure. You know, Andréane, like I said, has raced K1 for Canada. So is Michelle, and Natalie Davison is a great sprinter as well. So this is going to be a great event.
Yeah, it'll be super exciting, and you know, usually there's no runaway. It's always tight to the end, which is great for everyone on the live stream, and thanks for joining us again.
Just about a minute to start. I can hear the over the radio. Just listening in. We have in lane 1 Marin Bradley, and on the outside Adriana, both younger U23 athletes training with our senior team, a great big awesome team here training of women's kayak. I was just talking to Chad of the 13 athletes training together, so a very strong team, and generation is super strong. We'll see where they're at. I think they're just lining up here, so here we go. So from the top, Michelle's in the red boat. Beside the black boat with the rainbow is Andréane. Beside her with the red and black is Natalie.
So we'll really be watching to see who gets those first 3 or 4 strokes because they are so critical in this event.
Here we go. Natalie looks like she's off quick along with Andrianne. Andrianne's always such a fast starter. And we have to watch Michelle as well. Powerful strokes from Michelle. What do you see here, Kia?
Well, certainly I think we see Michelle, all with those long, powerful strokes, is able to really get things moving. But Adrienne is certainly putting them in and getting her boat up out of the water and moving quick, which is always great. I always love that, the feeling of floating. Doesn't feel like floating in the moment, but it sure looks like it from the outside.
Great race there. Great closeout. Looks just like Andre. Michelle, looks like Natalie was close with, and then Adriana. We'll wait and see. Great first race.
Yeah, and always in that cold water, sometimes that sprint is harder to accomplish, right? The heavy water doesn't always make you want to take 130 or 140 strokes a minute. So awesome to see them get that going this morning.
It looks like a good first effort, and great to see those women's kayak athletes getting out there racing. As we said, Kia, it's been such a long break, and I know they're happy watching them come into boat control here, and looks hurt a bit, but they're smiling, and all the, I'm sure, gearing up now for headed to the finals and semifinals. So lots of racing left to go today for these events, and athletes. Here's the times.
Awesome. It looks like we've got some good times, one for such cold temperatures, and two just for that first hard 200-meter sprint event of the season. So Adrienne will go straight through. Morty, is that the same progression? Yep. as the men's K1? So yeah, so we'll see her in the final, and the others will get another chance to demonstrate their ability to sprint in that semifinal later.
Yeah, and again, we're just getting a feel for this water. You know, it's what sort of times we'll see. That's a new course for us, but just seeing a 42 flat for Andrianne's a great time, a great benchmark to work for her through the weekend, and for Michelle as well. You know, she's got worked on her speed. They both had their K4 morning, and now a heat in K1 200. I think they're just warming up to see, you know, great results from them. And women's kayak team is addition, and Kia, we haven't really talked about it much, but with the qualifying for spots with the K4 at the World Championships in 2019, we already know we're going to have a strong representation of our women's kayak athletes, and our entire team has been training very, very hard and looked great. So exciting things for the rest of the weekend, and exciting things for this.
You bet. Yeah, it's been fantastic as someone who's chiming in to check out those results, to see, you know, what they were able to accomplish at the World Championships in 2019, and how that set them up for this process, knowing that there are 4 spots. One of your jobs is already done, and so it allows you to sort of refocus specifically on the event and making that team, and knowing that you want to make those boats the very best that you can, because you know Canada has a spot when Tokyo 2020 gets started.
So looking at heat number 2, I think just lining up on the start line. 5 athletes are lining up. Got Anna Neglich from Mascot in lane 1, Courtney Stott from Bombay Beach in lane 2, lane 3, Lisa Bissonnette de Pointe Claire, Grace Webby from Micmac and Sarah Nagy from Richmond Hill Canoe Club. Just here, we got a shot of them in the blocks. You can see there's that starting dock, Kia. Thanks to our volunteers out there on the platforms, helping everyone line up. You know, with all the start gates we're now used to, Kia, it's a new experience for some of these athletes. So we've been practicing here, backing into the dock the last couple of days to get used to it. I'm sure you remember,
Yeah, it's
Kia,
not
at the
the
base
norm.
and other trials. Yeah.
It's a totally different, just as,
tip.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just as much as the blocks were hard to get used to, having someone hold the back of your boat is also a bit of a weird feeling. And so I'm sure some of the athletes have never had to do that. So it'd be a neat one.
Okay, we're off.
It's great to see another clean start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, high stroke rates, everybody really pushing and drive into that finish line, which is always nice when you can see it. It's right in front of you. And lane 4
Grace
certainly
Webby, yeah,
out there.
very strong. Grace is a great sprinter. I think great start there. Lane 3, Lisa Bissonnette. Always super powerful in the 200 meter.
And she's
Courtney
coming on strong here.
Whoa.
Oh, close
Great
one.
race.
That's awesome to see.
Yeah, really nice, strong race for both Lisa and Grace there. We're going to have to wait on that one. But excellent start for Grace off the line. Great to see. Pride of Lake Bannock and Micmac there, and Lisa next to her powered through, you know, got some experience there to keep pushing, and looks like she came back.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the 200 being, you know, a super quick event, especially when it's followed up. It's following 1,000 where races are really allowed to unfold. But those 200s, you know, people can still catch up and make adjustments, and it's always great to see who jumps out at the start, but in that quick turnaround, who can push that in that last 50, because you can definitely get some surprises.
So we'll just wait for that result, that they're going to be in on the finish line picture there, taking a zoom in on that one. But that was a great race, and I think certainly Grace will be happy, and Lisa, I think, on that event.
Ooh, and Grace sneaks that win. Nice,
yeah,
nice way to hold on.
So great
so
first effort here in the 200. Yeah, for the weekend for Grace, and I know disappointing morning with the issue with their K4 and for that first race. So Grace will be happy and to get back out there, and so proud of these athletes going and keep pushing. So great result for Grace, and Lisa very close, 0.6 behind, 42.06, and then Courtney 44, Sarah Nagy and from Richmond Hill 45, and a close with Anna Neglich and Sarah Nagy there for 4th and 5th, but pretty tight race there, Kia.
Yeah, and I know you can't compare heat to heat necessarily, but it's pretty awesome to see three athletes in that 42-second range there. It'll set the final up to be really, really competitive, which is what we always want to see. You know, bring out the best in everybody when you have that tight an event.
Yeah, they all look like they're within 0.04, 40 seconds. So some good heat times, and that'll be great. Set up a great event. So we are now 2 minutes to start, Kia, from a big event for Canada, and you know, and this is sort of a big milestone and on a very special journey. So here we have our first ever Olympic team trials event for women's canoe, and pretty special moment here, lining up lane 1, Evie McDonald, Ella Hodgson-Pajot, Laurence Vincent-Lapointe, Anna Wassier, and in lane 5, Sloan McKenzie. And I know we have lots of people watching, and excited certainly for these incredible athletes, but just as a sport, the long journey to have women's canoe included, it's just amazing to that we're at this point, a year delayed, Kia, but it's pretty special.
Yeah, it's unreal, and it's really cool for me. I lead the women and girls in sport area for Saskatchewan Sask Sport, and it's neat being a female athlete. It's fantastic that this is coming sort of at what I like to call the International Women's Week, where throughout the week we often see International Women's Day on March 8th, and seeing this at the tail end of the week is just unbelievable. So glad that these athletes are getting their opportunity.
So here we go. Super exciting. We're watching Laurence in lane 3. She's got the Canada flag and the black and red on the nose of her boat. Been a while since all these athletes have raced, but Laurence really wants to get out there, get the cobwebs off in this heat. Great start from her. Also a great start from Anna Roy in lane 4. Laurence, big, powerful reaching strokes. Boat jumping out of the water. Super strong catch. On the inside, that's Ella Hodgson-Pajot from Rideau with a great race. Big long strokes from Laurence powering through. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just we have a bit of a move here at the second half for second place. So it was great to see Laurence go out so strong, and also for the other competitors to really be putting it out there.
Incredible. Yeah, and like I said, we said for the progressions, we're fighting for times here, so everyone's pushing super hard. But what a great performance for Laurence this morning. I know was excited to finally be back on the start line and to see that boat, that black and white boat jumping out of the water. I know she's hurting there, but physically, but I think inside she's smiling and happy to be out there on the race course. And like you said, a nice move by Ella Hodgson-Pajot there to come up for second. And I think everyone will be happy. You know, 200 meters, Kia, as you know, the start is so important. So to get a start under them and just get that quick response on the start line, get one done and get back out there, they'll be happy. So just wait on the times there, but that was great.
Yeah, so exciting to see and to know what this event specifically is progressing towards. The fight has been long and arduous, so knowing that there's a lot of opportunity ahead is very exciting for not only the athletes but the sport.
So I think the times are up. Oh, what a great performance this morning.
in
the heat. So 46.0, 46 very low for Laurence this morning. I mean, she'll be happy with that. We're get an idea of the times, but we know that's fast for this morning and for a heat and for her first race. Laurence will be happy. Ella Hodgson-Pajot, a junior athlete with a 48, and then the rest of the results there, you know, people positioning and maybe some athletes shutting down a little bit or getting ready for semis later on. But I'm just so proud of all these athletes are to have all these athletes just at 50 seconds or under in cold water and on March 11th, Kia, is pretty amazing. I'm very proud of this program. And, you know, we talk a lot about the journey to this moment and to have inclusion in the Olympic Games. But I like to leave a lot of space and excitement for just the quality of these female canoe athletes. Incredible. And here's
so,
4 more of them
so
in the
fast.
next heat. Yeah, I mean, the riches, the level of our women's canoe program. Obviously, Katie Vincent, world champion, U23 world champion here. Lane 2, Rowan Hardy-Cavanaugh from Rideau Club. Coming out of lane 2, we'll watch her. Katie Vincent, like I said, in lane 3 from Mississauga. Lane 4, Sophia Jensen from Cascades. And Julia Lilio Sunday, her C2 partner, reigning junior world champions in C2 as well. So exciting to see now. Heat 1 done. Laurence through to the final. What do we see here from Katie and the rest of the field here in heat number 2 as they get their first race in? I think we're just starting. Just to the control room, I think, if we can get on course here. Thanks. Looks like a bit of an issue, but we're watching here. Katie in the blue boat putting in the strokes. Right beside her to her right is Sophia Jensen. So Katie in 3 in the blue boat. Nice stroke rate up front.
Yeah, she's really making a move here in the last quarter of this race.
Yeah, Katie's always strong in the
Driving
last
to the
25,
finish.
50 meters. Sophia looks fantastic as well. Inside here, Rowan Hardy-Kavanaugh.
Yeah, another great finish, a tight event. It's good to see everybody pushing through.
So it looks like we lost a couple of our cameras there. Apologies to those watching. We're going to get them back up. Glad we do have that camera going. I know lots of fans watching and lots of parents, but that was a great race. That was a great race from both those athletes. And I know the level here that's in training with the ability for this women's canoe group to train together on Vancouver Island. They've been pushing the level and a great performance there. We'll wait to see how the times stack up. So great race there. Here's the times coming up. 47 flat. Another just incredible performance.
Wow.
The level and the that we're seeing here from all our women's canoe athletes, all our athletes this morning, right from a 336 in C2 this morning. It's great to see and hear. Katie Vincent with the 47 low. Sophia right with her, 48 flat. Rowan 51 and Julia Lilly Sunday at 52. So we'll stack up those times and the progressions. There'll be semifinals and finals later this afternoon for those events with Katie and Laurence going straight through to the final.
Yeah, such an awesome, it's so amazing to see what a tight field it is, especially a tight field where everybody has the ability to be so competitive. Just awesome.
Yeah. So next is our para events. Para seating race this morning, so equivalent of a heat seating our events. So we have a great field of para athletes here. Matthew St. Pierre, the Shawinigan. Shout out to everyone watching in Shawinigan, Helen, and that whole great club there, and such a great growing canoe club. I know they're watching, and to the lane 1, Matthew St. Pierre, the Shawinigan, and lane 2, Michael Tronner from the Ottawa River Canoe Club. Lane 4, Erica Scarf and Palmy Beach Canoe Club, or that's correction. Erica is actually paddling for the Mississauga Canoe Club. Andrea Nelson, and Brianna, athlete from Ottawa River Canoe Club, who's just starting her journey as a para canoe athlete, but here and been training super hard in BC as well, working with Joel Hazan, her coach. So same deal here with these para athletes. They're looking to, get the cobwebs off Kia, get a start under their belts, a range of experience levels, but all athletes with their sights set on the Paralympic Games, and a little different in the para events because with the classification system. So within the para events of VAA, so canoeing, like outrigger VAA canoeing and kayak K1, there are different classifications based on mobility and a assessment of the individual athlete. And so competing against each other here, but also competing to meet different time standards as athletes within those classifications. So bit of a different event, but exact same in terms of how it works, Kia, but the same incredible drive and push here. And here's a big start.
Yes. Oh, it's great to see them off.
Brianna Hennessy at the top of our picture, Andrea Nelson beside her, Erica Scarf, in lane 4 with the green shirt with a great start. Both Andrea
Yeah,
and
she's got
Erica
a
had a
good
great
stroke
start
rate.
there.
Yeah, they got a high stroke rate heading through here the first half,
Yeah,
which
and you
is
see
awesome.
Mike
So
Schroner here in lane 2 in the VA, doing a great job. I know Mike's loving these conditions, nice and calm, big catch. And beside him,
yeah, really
here.
solid at the start.
Oh, it's
So
great to
great.
see. But Erica just powering through. Experience of Erica, a Paralympian.
Yeah, great race there. It's always sort of as we was with the women's canoe program goes towards their first opportunity to race at the Olympic Games coming up. It's really probably a neat experience when your sport debuted at the last Paralympic Games to be coming around with a bit of experience and understanding what these steps are rather than doing them for the first time. So for someone like Erica, kind of coming back and trying to do this for round number 2.
Yep.
And was the para program bubbled in BC with the national team program, or were individuals training on their own throughout the last little bit?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix. So we had some of the athletes were training at Shawnigan Lake at the center that we set up there. Some were training here in different a few different locations, trying to get on the water, and others have come straight out and have been training here on site here in Burnaby to get ready for this event. So a bit of a mixed bag. See here, Erica Scarf with throwing down a 54 low. Great time today, and you'll see here that for these seeding races, to get this first race down, we combined the approach is to combine the VA, which is the canoe event for men, which is the boat itself is a little bit slower, with the women's kayak event to just get a competitive race, and that seemed to work out well here with Mike and Mathieu sort of pushing and being very close with Andrea and Erica. So good to see.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a nice tight race, competition number 1, and ensuring that everybody has that opportunity. It's no fun racing against yourself. Heat number 2 or seeding race number 2 coming up. A bit smaller event.
Yep.
But 3 individuals.
So here, just based on that speed breakdown, sorry, Kia, is are the men's kayak athletes. So these events will be used to seed the finals later on, and like I said, to get a first race for all these athletes out there. For all of them, just like everyone else, it's been a long time, and some too are also are relatively new to the sport. So it's a chance to get out and get some races under their belt. So lane 1, Stéphane Samolia from Balmy Beach. Gabriel Ferron from Rideau Canoe Club will get his club fixed up there. And Eddie Urquhart also from Balmy Beach. So they're out here, the men's kayak athletes, to race to get some seeding done and to have the finals later on. Well, things will be split up a little bit more later in the finals, Kia, by the different classifications.
Yeah. Makes lots of sense. It's an extra layer for everybody to consider when deciding what they're racing, but amazing to see participation growing and opportunities as well.
Yeah, it's certainly amazing, and I mean we celebrated women's canoe and that important moment as we build towards the first time in the Olympic Games. But para canoe is new. Its first debut in the Paralympic Games was in 2016, and it was just kayak. So it's going to be amazing to have VA in the Tokyo Paralympics. We saw just a couple of our athletes competing in that, and so proud that Canada's also played a leading role in para-canoe. John Edwards, still the chair of the ICF Paralympic Committee, and huge part of that movement, along with a whole host of leaders across the country. So they're off.
Here we go, and again, you see a nice high stroke rate, getting them off out of the blocks, but through the start line and heading into the heading to that the last half of the event here.
Looks like Gabe Ron from reaching through. He's able to get
Looks
a
like
lot
maybe
of power
a bit
on
of trouble.
patch. Yeah, that's Ed sorting things out on the outside in lane 4. And Stefan.
Certainly a commanding lead, and it's nice to see Stefan pushing through to the very end here, ensuring his best time is clocked.
Great race for all 3 of these guys, and part of having these seeding races is to get out the bugs and help with the seeding. And Gabe there, who powered through in lane 3, he's relatively new, and I'm sure this is one of his first races. He didn't get a season last year when he started paddling at the Rideau Canoe Club, so relatively new. So it's great to see him out there, along with Stefan and Eddie, both from the amazing program at Balmy Beach, and working with Ryan Blair and the club. So they're going to go in, get dialed in. I'm sure even you know, Kia, with different para athletes, there's different equipment modifications that need to be made, and I'm sure they're going to go in and tune up their kayaks and VA boats are a lot like race cars, with carbon fiber supports and different mechanisms for helping with steering and balance. And it's incredible the technology and the team they have here, working with their coaches and our lead Mark Kramer. So they're going to be making those adjustments and getting back out there. But just fantastic to see all these athletes here, and big Tokyo Paralympic Games later this summer. So I just take a look at that. So it's an exciting morning, Kia.
It is a very exciting morning. Happy to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. It's been nice to remember what all this feels like, and to think back to all the exciting stuff that awaits all these athletes. So thank you all, and I'd like to give kudos to the streaming team, because while we've had a few glitches, I think this has been a pretty seamless operation, and I appreciate being able to watch the rest of the events that are coming up for sure.
Yeah. So we got this afternoon. We'll take a quick look ahead here. Let me pull up the draw. This afternoon, we have a bunch of semifinals, which are going to be super exciting. So we have the women's K1 semifinal is going to be at 1 o'clock after a break. Super competitive there. Top 4 will go through to the final, and then we're going to have just incredible women's canoe semifinal as well. Super competitive there, and then semis for men's K1000, and then we're going to get into some really exciting finals. So it's going to be a super exciting afternoon. Kia, I think we're switching co-hosts, so I don't know if you're going to be here this afternoon.
Thor and I won't be here, but we didn't want to push the envelope too long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but you'll have another co-host to sit by you.
Yeah. No, for sure. And just seeing if we got the times here, but Kia, it was great to. I know we're getting lots of messages. Everyone's been great to see you and see Thor, and great to connect with you. And now we got his name up on the screen for you there. So Thor's first his first
foray on television. Yeah, exactly. So we're happy to be around. And I had to make note, when we talk about all the equipment for para canoe and the VA and the kayaking stuff, you know, I was around when para kind of was just evolving, and with Chris Pearson and Christine Selinger, and to see how far modifications have come and where the envelope is being pushed is really amazing in the sport. So kudos to the coaches and the athletes and everyone that is driving para canoe forward, because it's pretty amazing to see.
It's incredible, and amazing leaders, like you said, those early athletes who you just, you know, near and dear teammates of mine as well, and pushing through barriers for the sport. Our sport is such a richer sport. To have para canoe to be in the Paralympics, it makes our teams better, our sport better, and it's amazing to see it progressing the way it is, and super exciting. So, and I just think, thanks for being here, Kia. It's what a special morning to get back to racing and back to, you know, I know lots of people across the country now are thinking, when are our divisional regattas, you know, looking ahead, and there's lots of excitement. So we'll keep pushing together, and we'll be back. I'll be back this afternoon. So thank you, Kia. Thank you, Thor. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back.
Yeah, have a good one.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.